This one was a great idea, and it was called Project 100. Jeff and I would build a real estate portfolio worth $100 million.
But we kind of like ran into a bit of a problem. We got pulled in too many different directions. All you got to do is find a good deal, and the money, it just follows. And people want to partner with us. So it's been pretty fun, because that's how it happens in this business. It's all relationships. One sentence, like, how did you buy these? I asked. If you want to buy buildings, a lot of them are not on the market.
So we knew what would work and what wouldn't work.
You find it, we'll sign it, you get paid, let's go on to the next one. Let's make this your retirement plan, Mr. Realtor.
What is up, YouTube? Matt McKeever here with Jeff Wybo. And if you guys didn't know, myself and Jeff, we've recently in the last year started a new business where we're actually buying and BRRRRing apartment buildings, just like Kasey Wong. No, seriously, just like Kasey Wong. And so in today's video, myself and Jeff jump on a Zoom call and chat through the type of apartment buildings we're buying today and just what our experience has been over the last year acquiring, well, as of next week, we'll be at about, I think, 90 units. So it's been a lot of fun growing this portfolio with Jeff over the last year, and that's just 90 units in the last year that we've been really focused on growing this business. And again, we're still new to this apartment buying business, this entire niche, so we're making some mistakes along the way. We're learning a lot of lessons, but the key is we're failing forward. And that's really what real estate investing is all about, in my opinion. It's just jumping in and learning as you go. Way too often, people are waiting for the perfect shot, but as Jeff likes to say all the time on his YouTube channel and whenever he's on my YouTube channel, ready, shoot, aim. Way too often people are trying to just get into the ready position or the aim position, and they never end up taking their shot. I think that's probably the biggest regret that I have as a real estate investor, is not having more confidence and not taking more educated and, you know, more sophisticated risks. Now, you just don't want to be jumping in with wild abandon, but at some point in time, you have to make the leap of faith. And in today's video, myself and Jeff, we're going to discuss how we made that leap of faith and where we're at right now.
All right, YouTube, so I'm here with Jeff Wybo, your favorite realtor. Hey, Jeff, how's it going?
Hey, a good person on your channel, finally.
Yeah, I know. It's been a while, right? It's been hard to coordinate. You live like 4 houses down.
I know. You're a busy man to get a hold of.
Yes.
So I appreciate it. I'm on a channel with 60,000 subscribers. Congratulations.
Yeah, that's huge. And it's crazy to think that, like, you know, you were there day one on my YouTube channel as well, right? So literally going back to the first Wybo limo tour, that was one of the first 3 videos I released. And the third video I released that day was the getting bit by fleas. So you were off on that video a little bit.
Yeah, definitely the subject matter. We both got the fleas on us. I had pants on, you had shorts on. You guys got to go back and watch that video on Matt's channel if you haven't. You'll see a babyface Matt getting bit by fleas. Yeah. But yeah, I remember I was always about the Instagram, and Matt McKeever was doing this YouTube thing, and I'm like, YouTube? What was that for, like watching movie trailers? And it turns out it's quite the business. So yeah, I'm really appreciative to be on your channel right now. And with COVID and everything, it's been pretty hard to coordinate, but that's why we're kind of doing a StreamYard right now, just to tell you guys what we got going on a bit.
And so I thought it'd be fun to kind of look back a bit. So Jeff and I first really got to know each other at the start of 2016. I think maybe our first official meeting was like February 2016, where we met up at the London Club and talked about real estate investing and just kind of shared both of our experiences. And over the course of like the next year and a half, you know, we just continued to grow our relationship, grow our bonds, things of that nature. But I think around the end of it must have been in 2017, because I was still drinking. So in 2017, I think one late night of drinking, you and I, we just drew out this master plan, and we ended up coming up. Yeah, we come up with a lot of master plans, guys. And this one was a great idea, and it was called Project 100. And so the idea behind Project 100 was Jeff and I would build a real estate portfolio worth $100 million. And that was going to consist of, I believe, 1,000 units in London, Ontario. And that was the whole premise of Project 100. And we kind of mapped it out, and we were like, within 5 years, we can do this thing, and it's going to be crazy, and it's going to be awesome.
And we set aside some time, and we're studying a certain amount of properties. We're trying to hit up some landlords, but we kind of ran into a bit of a problem. We got pulled in too many different directions on our other projects. So Project 100 didn't execute the way if nothing else was going on in our life, I'm sure we could do it. But we had too many things going on. The Wybo limo tour, your channel. We decided to do the Ontario Real Estate Conference at one point too, twice, 3 times kind of if you count Windsor. But yeah, I think our biggest thing was no focus back then on that for why it probably failed.
And we weren't making
good
time
to the story. Yeah, exactly. We didn't make any time for it. So just maybe to your audience, pick your biggest 80-20 principle. That would have been something that would have ROI'd us a lot, and we didn't use that time wisely, and it just fell apart. But the story does get better, right?
And so what's interesting to me is literally for about a year, Project 100 just languished. Actually, probably closer to a year and a half, it just languished. And we really did nothing with it other than occasionally talk about it or like look back and laugh about like, man, that would have been great had we, done that. But I think also a big part of that was you and I still had a lot of limiting beliefs back in 2017 that I think 2019 us didn't have. And in particular, what comes to mind is we were still thinking like we somehow had to use our money in order to really make this happen, right? And we're like, well, I guess like we'll buy a couple small properties first and we'll slowly eke our way up and some refinances and this, that, and the other. And by the time 2019 rolled around, when we restarted Project 100 and actually started buying real apartment buildings and started building towards that 1,000-unit count, by that point in time, we literally took an almost the exact opposite approach. So for myself and the new company we've started that is now actually buying apartment buildings, not just thinking about it, I haven't put a single dollar into that business.
It is fascinating and amazing once you start using other people's money. And it seems to be such a scary concept to some people, but yeah, something will just click in your mind as investors right now. And you're like, yeah, why am I using my own money? Why am I driving over there to go do that? And when you start just commanding it like it's this giant operation and you're like the manager of buying the properties and the manager of controlling the property, it gets really fun. And now my biggest problem is just finding more product to purchase. That's all. So basically, if you guys don't know, I'm kind of focusing right now on in Matt's business, buying the large buildings right now so that Matt can hang out with you guys on YouTube and work on the cash flow tribe right now. But that is my main goal. And I'm doing with our business partners, Mitt and Pearson. And it's a fun day right now. And it's my 80-20 principle is, yeah, okay, great. We can go sell a duplex in London, Ontario. But is that really going to move the needle for our company eventually? And that was the problem early on with Project 100. I got pulled in every direction back then and I couldn't focus. Now I am focusing, and they're really amazing phone calls you get to have all day with old landlords and trying to calling commercial agents, and just, you're a big boy at the table now. And all you got to do is find a good deal, and the money, it just follows. We have the attention from the internet and people want to partner with us. So it's been pretty fun.
Yeah, and I think that's a big point you hit upon there, getting the deal first. I think we approached it backwards, where in 2017, 2018, Matt and Jeff, we were trying to find the money first, because we're like, how can we buy real estate if we don't have money? We need money in order to get into these deals. Yeah. Where I think in 2019, we took a completely different approach, right?
Absolutely. And yeah, now it's just bugging people like, well, how many units do you want? And I'm like, all the units. Like, we'll figure it out. Like, these are great problems to have. If somebody's like, yeah, I got a deal, but it's 1,000 units. So like, okay, great. Let me look at the numbers and we can raise that capital somewhere to make it happen. And yeah, real estate investing is back to being fun right now versus low ceiling heights and shoddy wiring at a duplex or something like that around here, which is getting a little old, especially if we're going to evolve as even just me and you evolving from 2016 till now. We can't continue to do the same thing. And one of your great words is like, it's a natural reflection point. You seem to do this in your business all the time, our businesses, but you like pull the team aside and you'll be like, okay, like something has to change here. So we start on a plan, but then we're pretty good to pivot and go on a different direction, like not a complete different direction, but just like a slightly off. And I think that's really important to all business owners that are listening and watching to be able to do that and to be open to do that and not stubborn, because it's the only way you're going to grow.
Yeah. And so this all sounds good, I'm sure, to the audience, but we really haven't got to any meat yet.
Where's the numbers, Matt?
Yeah. So we're not going to share any numbers today, guys, but maybe we can get Jeff on a future video, and we will. But let's talk about really what did change between 2017 and 2019. 2 years had changed. Sure, we learned a little bit more, but I don't think it was really much that we learned other than really coming to the realization that we didn't have to use our money, that the deal needed to come first. So do you mind sharing with the audience, like, how did we start setting ourselves up for success to actually start getting deals? Because, you know, originally we thought it was the money, but we kept struggling to get the money because we couldn't present the money a deal. And it turns out the money doesn't want to commit to you until they understand the deal, because real estate is so deal specific, right? Location, 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 the oldest saying when it comes to real estate. And really, yes, location's important, but what I really think location, location, location means is the real estate, the real estate, the real estate. That it's actually the real estate that matters. So whether that's the deal, whether that's the property itself, the potential behind the property. So what did we start doing in 2019 that was different versus 2017?
Well, I think we had designated meetings about this to start. So me and you drove down to Toronto to talk to Mitt and Piersant. And I remember it. We were in this like high-rise little cubicle, like flex space they had there. And we did something called, we put in an offer. And you knew an address that you kind of like, it was on your radar. And it's like, let's just offer on this. Again, on this video, we won't share all our secrets, but eventually we just kind of like weaseled our way into somewhat talking to the sellers through some agents and said, hey, do these guys want to sell? And we wrote that offer. I think we went and got dinner afterwards. And then they're like, yeah, we kind of like, the sellers are like, we kind of like this offer. And we're like, oh shit. So we're actually going conditional now. So then it became that race to find the money because we had the piece of paper. So I guess we actually focused, we had meetings about it, and we actually made offers on properties. And now we got a really fun thing going on where a lot of your guys and myself are just doing offers a day. Because once you kind of know your metrics, you know what your money partners want to see, you can make offers all day long. Remember, the seller can just say yes, no, or piss off. So that's what happens.
Yeah. And so I think there's actually a lot that you packed into just a couple sentences there. So I want to unparse it a little bit more for the audience. But the first thing is, like, we set aside specific meetings to talk about this business. And that to me is like, it's so fucking simple, but it's also a giant game changer, because legitimately what happens often when us or anyone else decides to take a new task on in life, we decide to use our leftover time. So we're like, you know, okay, like if I get done work early tonight and put the kids to bed early, or if, you know, I wrap up my other projects early, then maybe at 10 o'clock tonight, I'll start doing some research. Where
you know
instead,
what it's like?
Yeah.
It's like when you're having, maybe not you anymore, but like beers with your buddies, and you come up with the best plans all night, and then nobody executes the next morning. It's just talking about it. Hey, we should buy in Costa Rica. Like, yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, the general conversation that every drinker has had with another drinking buddy. We should start a bar. But then how many people actually progress beyond just that conversation?
Like, hey, imagine the next morning. Hey, all right, so we got the 12 o'clock meeting set up about buying the bar, and I need you there and like focus. The guy's like, what? No, we're not really doing this, are we? But like, that's what we did. We like said, we're buying apartment buildings. We are blocking out time in our day. Jeff, I don't care if you got clients calling you, and pause and let's deal with this.
Yeah. And so to me, like, the number one piece of advice I'd give to anyone that wants to break into a new industry, into a new business, into a new niche is you need to set aside dedicated time to hone your craft and hone your business. I think a second big distinguishing factor for us in 2019 versus 2017, 2017's goal was all about a vanity metric, really. Let's be honest, right? It was $100 million and 1,000 units. And while buying for 100,000 a unit isn't a bad business model overall, it's not the end all be all to a business model. Where instead in 2019, because we started having specific meetings on this idea, we really started crafting out what our specific business model would be, as well as what our exit strategy would be. So now we're working towards a clear finish line, right? Where before we just had this like fuzzy, like it would be cool someday to get this. Where now we're acting with a lot more purpose and intention.
It's reverse engineering a lot better.
Absolutely. So, and then another thing that you touched upon there that I think was really important is We started having conversations. We actually started talking to people that own shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Because that's how it happens in this business. It's all relationships.
Hey YouTube, have you guys been enjoying the sponsorship splash page we have at the end of every YouTube video now? Do you guys like it? Are you a business owner or maybe just a real estate influencer or investor and you'd like more exposure to potentially my YouTube audience? Well, now you can help support my YouTube channel as well as grow your personal brand or your business brand by sponsoring my splash page. It's really not that expensive, and if you want to find out more information, it'll be all below in the video description down. So just go grab it, reach out to my team, and let's chat.
We started having conversations. We actually started talking to people that own shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Because that's how it happens in this business. It's all relationships. And I swear, I said this to Mitt. If people are gonna like ask, how did Matt and Jeff and the guys get all these properties? I guarantee my book will just have like one sentence in it that just says he let everybody know that he was buying buildings or something like that. Because like I just annoyingly hit up people on LinkedIn and I just annoyingly hit up people on Instagram. And I'm like, other agents, hey, do you selling any large multi? Well, how much, Jeff? And just send me a deal, man. I'll take a look at it. Like, and that's it. Like one sentence. Like, how'd you buy these? I asked.
Yeah. And that's so powerful. And yet, again, how often are like pre-COVID were we at networking events and we'd be talking to someone that was telling us about how they were dreaming about buying a duplex. And then we would ask a simple question like, how many offers have you made? And you find out they haven't made a single offer. And the problem is everyone's waiting for the perfect moment to take the perfect shot. But what they need to realize is you just need to keep throwing bricks until you stop throwing bricks. And that's what it really comes down to, is just putting in the practice. And so when we really committed to this new project, you and I at the start committed to an offer a week.
Yeah.
We stirred up a lot of activity just by having those conversations, right?
Yeah. And like, but that was almost not enough. And it almost got lost in the week too. Cause it's like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to make an offer this week on a property, but I'm so busy on my other stuff. When I started like literally saying, this is the only thing I'm going to do.
Yeah.
It became a lot more fun and a lot more easier because I'm focused on it. Not like, oh yeah, I gotta drop everything and go find a building to try to offer on. It's just not going to happen there. It was a good little start, but definitely I feel a lot more comfortable going a lot harder into it and just every day on the brain, top of mind. And one day there's going to be 1,000 units all of a sudden. So if everybody doesn't know, I think we're at 37 units in the corp with none of our own money. And we're about to close on maybe about 50 more in the next 60 days. So looking for more always. If there's anyone out there, hit us up.
Yeah.
See, I'm asking.
Absolutely. And then again, I love that point you made there about now you're transitioning kind of full-time into the business, and Mitch and Pierce are starting to take it a lot more serious as well. And so that to me is another massive point that I see a lot of new investors make a mistake on. They have one or two successes and then they let off the gas. They now start getting fancy and thinking that, you know, oh, I've got it set, I've got it made, so I don't need to worry. In my opinion, once you start getting those few successes, that's the time to double down and go all in.
Yeah, absolutely. So as a realtor, first year I do really well on commissions. Second year I double it. Third year you kind of hit the wall, still making that double it kind of stuff. And that was like the natural inflection point of like, okay, I can continue to sell the same homes in this city and make X, work a little bit harder to make a little bit more. I need to change my business around. So I'm really happy to be back, like really into real estate investing versus just agent making commission. Because like if you go back to what you're talking about in 2017, where we were, doing it a little bit backwards, I would have thought, yeah, well, I'm a brand new realtor, so I better get 2 years of T4s to show the banks so I can buy a property. And that was like I wasted 2 years pretty much. We could have been buying these properties way sooner with other people's money, but I was, not listening to your channel, although your channel's only brought this on this year pretty much. But yeah, it's a great mindset shift, especially. So if you're new here, make sure you subscribe to this guy. So
appreciate that, Jeff. So let's talk about, here we are today. We're moving towards buying more real estate and continuing to grow without really using any of our own capital. For people that are listening to this, that all sounds good. What would you do, like, if you're like, okay, I'm willing, I've got 5, 10, 20 hours a week I'm willing to dedicate to really taking this seriously, whether that's getting my first duplex or breaking into the apartment buying game. Where would you start, Jeff? Like, what would you recommend they do?
So if you want to buy buildings, a lot of them are not on the market. So you have to network. And now you can network with your phone just sitting on the couch, or you can go try to manually do it. I would be hitting up realtors that are probably older realtors that have had these listings in the past. You can reach out to whatever, if you have your agent already, see if they can give you like some expireds on large buildings. And then what you'll see is a realtor that didn't sell that property. Don't cut corners and try to like cut that guy out or girl out. Get a hold of them and say, hey, does your seller want to sell? Guess what? So it's a random weekday and the guy can make 30, 40 grand. We found that to be very successful because now you're literally hiring the guy. He had nothing going on. He gets to go back to his seller saying, I have someone interested. Can we get them in? Can you look at this offer? That has been very powerful. Another way I did it, I teased it on Instagram that I was going to sit in a parking lot outside of an apartment building and find the owner's phone number. And fast forward, we own that building. From me sitting there, found a tenant didn't think I was a cop, told me her landlord's, like, I'm like, hey, can I get your landlord number? And gave me the number. I called the guy, I said, can I get your email address? I'd like to send you an offer. And he gave it to me, and we own that building now. Like, and again, I think it just goes back to asking. You guys drive by these buildings all the times in your cities or any city you want to go invest in. Those are the ones you have to go for. Today I was downtown London and I was like, I saw like a frontage of a purpose-built building. I'm like, oh, but it goes back pretty deep. Okay, there must be like 9 units. Maybe that basement with the boiler room is about 10. That's probably a 10plex, you know? Like, I'm like, okay, I want to find this landlord's number and give him an offer. So it's just top of mind now. You're always like, I want to buy.
Yeah. And that one deal that Jeff's talking about where he sat outside in front of the building till he got the owner's number. Again, because we had approached our business model so much different in 2019, that's the only reason we actually got that deal. 2017, Matt and Jeff, we wouldn't have seen a deal there. We would have overlooked that opportunity and walked right by it, even had you got the phone number, right? Because the seller wanted too much money, like literally just way too much money, an unreasonable amount of money. And 2017, Matt and Jeff would have just been like, you're out to lunch, man. Like, there's no way. Like, we want to get it for 80,000 a unit, not 140 a unit.
What does your hat and your shirt say? You know?
Yeah, problems are profits, guys. And so the real key there was because we'd had meetings up front, we had a very specific business model. So we knew what would work and what wouldn't work. Where I think one of the biggest struggles for new investors is they're not clear on what they're trying to accomplish. And because they're not clear on what they're trying to accomplish, it's too easy to get lost in like, do I need to get it for another $1,000 less? Or is this a good enough deal for me? And I know it's something like that you've painfully dealt with just as a normal realtor as well, Jeff, with your clients, right?
Yeah, no, all the time. And it's frustrating because so many things like cheap interest rates and how fast the market's moving. Even the pandemic didn't even slow down the purchase prices right now. And people want to like just get the product right now. And it's dirt cheap. But yeah, they want to save $3,000 at the final. But then the problem is you open yourself up to another offer. You just want to sign it sometimes. So the best part too about that building, that seller brought in his realtor and we didn't cut him out at all. We're like, perfect. You're kind of working for us now. So I'm a realtor. I use a realtor. And now we have a really good relationship. And this guy is almost on our weekly calls. Like me and Mitt are always talking to him. Like, I don't think my phone is shut up because now he is like our little gopher to find the next building.
Yeah, he's a champion because we did right by him and we built a relationship rather than focusing on the transaction.
Yep. And I had a call with him the other day and I was like, I said his name and I said, focus on us as 80-20. And he didn't know what that was. And I explained to him what it was. And he gets it now. Ever since I said the 80-20 to him, he's like, you're right. Why am I showing duplexes on Adelaide when I can just be focusing on Jeff and making $150,000 commission? Like and I'm happy for him to have it. because he's finding us the deals. Go for it, man. So, and I'm not like, well, I should get some of that. No, like you find it, we'll sign it, you get paid. Let's go on to the next one. Let's make this your retirement plan, Mr. Realtor. So I don't have these connections yet, but one day I might be him, you know, when I have all these buildings or I know the old landlords. So it's such an old boys network, really, to the old buildings, pretty much. That's what I see in Southwestern Ontario.
It's all about building those relationships, right? And building rapport, getting in, and really not just focusing on this deal, but understanding that if you do this deal, you'll likely get other deals as well.
100%. And that's exactly what's going on right now. So I just got to keep finding other people like that, build a really good relationship, and you almost like send out an army every day looking for buildings for you. So just kind of like 10xing it. So
awesome. Yeah. I love this conversation, and I love buying apartment buildings. So number one, guys, don't worry. There's going to be more Jeff Wybo and more apartment building and buying talks coming on the YouTube channel. So I look forward to that. Yeah. And Jeff, if people want to follow along with you on your journey or follow along as you continue to buy apartment buildings for us, where should they find you on social media? Get
over and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I know Matt McKeever, and I have 1/10 of his subscribership. Come on. Get over to @JeffWybo. I'm sure Peter's putting that up right now. And get over to subscribe. And the same thing on Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff, @JeffWybo. All right. Get over there, guys. Send me a message saying that you watched this video. And make sure you guys hit the like and subscribe button on Matt's video right now. And we're going to make some crazy clickbait. We bought X amount of units and, you know, with no money. You guys are going to want to stick around on this channel to watch. So I'm going to force these videos. You guys are all going to be mad that the titles mislead you, but that's the YouTube secret. Sorry.
Awesome. Love it. And if somehow you guys have some apartment buildings or know about some deals, definitely hit up Jeff on social media and hook us up because we're always buying.
Exactly. I'm like a scalper. Like who's got tickets? I need tickets.
Awesome. Thanks, Jeff.
All right. See you guys.
Did you guys enjoy this video? If so, smash the like button. Hit the subscribe button if you're new to my channel. Now, I want to hear from you. Would you like me and Jeff to chat more about our real estate investing business, about our endeavors into breaking into the larger multifamily space? It's an area that I don't think is covered a lot on YouTube, and I suspect it's why you guys enjoy the videos with Kasey Wong so much. So also let me know in the comment section, how did Jeff and I stack up against Kasey Wong, because I'm sure you're going to make inevitable comparisons no matter what anyways. But again, really appreciate you guys watching this video. If you would like to watch some videos with Kasey Wong, maybe you don't even know who Kasey is, check out this playlist right here. If you want to see more videos with myself and Jeff Wybo, maybe some stuff from the way back machine, we'll throw up a playlist right here. Otherwise, just, you know, go out there, take that shot, guys. Stop getting stuck in the aim position. At some point in time, you need to make the leap of faith if you want to get results. Actions come before results. Thanks, guys.